What if I told you that there were only 7 kettlebell exercises you needed to do, and by doing them, you will be looking and feeling stronger than ever? Unlike machines that lock you into fixed movement patterns, kettlebells force your body to work as a complete unit. They build the kind of strength that translates to everything from sports performance to everyday tasks that require real-world power. Skip these, and you're setting yourself up for mediocre gains no matter how many hours you spend working out. Let's get started. First up, we have the kettlebell swing, surely the king of kettlebell movements. If you've never prioritized this movement before, you're going to want to start now. The swing is a hip hinge that develops super strong glutes and is fantastic for building lifting mechanics while strengthening the entire posterior chain. Science has told us that kettlebell swings are incredibly effective for building power. A 2019 study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research found that kettlebell swings produce similar power outputs to Olympic lifting movements, while being significantly easier to learn and master. From a functional standpoint, kettlebell swings build the exact kind of explosive hip power that separates athletic men from those who've lost their edge. This is the strength you need when you're jumping over a fence, sprinting to catch your kid's fly ball, or lifting something heavy off the ground without throwing out your back. Someone once described the swing as a ballistic deadlift, and that should help you understand why it translates so well to sprinting, jumping, and squatting. The swing toughens up your grip and creates the kind of conditioning that keeps you feeling young and capable when other guys your age are slowing down. How to perform kettlebell swings correctly. Stand with feet shoulder-width apart, kettlebell on the ground in front of you. Hinge at the hips and grab the kettlebell with both hands. Drive your hips forward explosively to swing the kettlebell up to chest height. Let gravity bring the kettlebell back down between your legs. Keep your core tight and back straight throughout. The hips drive the kettlebell upward, not your arms. Wait until the kettlebell touches or nearly touches your body before the next rep. Beginner option. Start with a lighter kettlebell and focus on the hip hinge movement pattern. You can practice the movement without weight first, just focusing on the explosive hip drive. If you feel it in your lower back instead of your glutes, try glute bridges as an activation exercise before swinging. Do 4 sets of 15 to 20 reps with a weight that challenges you while maintaining perfect form. You should feel this primarily in your glutes and hamstrings. But if you think swings alone will build complete lower body mass, you're missing a crucial piece. The next exercise targets your legs in a way that builds serious size and strength. Moving on to our number 2, we have the racked squat. Your entire lower body, quads, glutes, and hamstrings will thank you for this one. The racked squat lets you place 2 kettlebells in a great position for load bearing that is more similar to a back squat but actually slightly safer because you can just throw them to the side if needed. It also doesn't put compressive force on your spine like a loaded barbell would. The racked squat builds the kind of leg strength and size that keeps you powerful and mobile as you age. This is the strength you need when you're getting up from low positions without using your hands, carrying your grandkids around the yard, or maintaining that athletic squat mobility that most men lose in their 40s. The weight obviously isn't going to be as great as a back squat, but it's perfect for higher reps as a result, which makes it excellent for building muscle endurance and conditioning. This is a great opportunity to train your mobility, getting down nice and low, and you can get lower more safely than you might with a really heavy back squat. How to perform racked squats correctly. Clean 2 kettlebells up to the rack position at your shoulders. Keep your elbows tucked close to your body. Stand with feet shoulder-width apart. Descend into a squat by sitting back with your hips. Keep your chest up and core braced. Go as low as your mobility allows. Drive through your heels to return to standing. Keep the kettlebell stable in the rack position throughout. Beginner option. Start with a single kettlebell held in the goblet position at your chest. This teaches the movement pattern while being less demanding on your upper body strength. You can also use a chair behind you as a depth guide until you build the mobility and strength. Do 4 sets of 12-15 reps. Focus on getting full range of motion and controlling the weight throughout the entire movement. Now, I'm about to show you an exercise that builds strength in a plane of movement most guys completely ignore. If you want to bulletproof your hips and unlock athletic mobility, this next exercise is essential. At number 3, we have the Cossack squat, one of the most underrated exercises for building real-world leg strength and mobility. This exercise works in the frontal plane. making it incredibly valuable for athletic performance and injury prevention. The Cossack squat is fantastic for developing hip mobility and strength, which can translate to reduced back pain and even a stronger back squat. The Cossack squat builds the kind of hip mobility and single-leg strength that most men desperately need but never train. This is the strength that helps you navigate uneven terrain while hiking, step down from high surfaces without losing balance, or change direction quickly during sports without injury. You can easily adjust the Cossack squat by turning the extended foot. If you point the foot more forward, you'll work the hips more. If you point the foot up and rest on your heel, it hits the hamstrings more. Either way, it's a really effective weighted stretch that builds one-legged strength and translates to athletic performance. How to perform Cossack squats correctly. Hold a kettlebell at your chest in the goblet position. Take a wide stance with feet pointing forward. Shift your weight to one leg and squat down on that side. Keep the opposite leg straight and turn that foot up toward the ceiling. Go as low as your mobility allows on the working leg. Push through the heel to return to the starting position. Complete all reps on one side before switching. Keep your torso upright throughout the movement. Beginner option. Start without any weight and hold on to a doorframe or wall for balance. Focus on mobility first. Just work on getting into the position and holding it. You can also reduce the range of motion initially and gradually work deeper as your mobility improves. Do 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per side. Focus on control and mobility rather than speed or heavy weight. Coming up next is an upper body exercise that looks simple but delivers incredible results for your shoulders and core. Most guys have never tried this movement, but it's a game changer for functional strength. Exercise 4, Kettlebell Halo. Now you're definitely going to want to see this next exercise because it's going to transform your shoulder mobility and core strength. The Kettlebell Halo. This exercise is far more useful than it may at first appear. It's a movement that builds incredible shoulder mobility while challenging your core in a functional way that translates to real-world strength. The Kettlebell Halo builds the kind of shoulder mobility and rotational core strength that keeps you moving like an athlete. This is the strength that helps you reach overhead without pain, throw a perfect spiral at the family football game, or turn your body powerfully during sports. The movement stretches your triceps and lats while giving you better overhead range of motion. You can do these for high reps, making this great conditioning that targets the upper body. People like the great Gama reportedly used hundreds of similar movements. The upright core training is awesome because it's how we typically use our core strength in the real world, resisting rotational forces. How to perform kettlebell halos correctly. Grab the kettlebell by the horns, either side of the handle. Hold it upside down at chest level. Rotate the kettlebell around the back of your head, not the top. Keep your elbows pointing up toward the ceiling as much as possible. Move slowly and with control. Keep your core engaged so your ribs don't flare. Complete the full circle before changing directions. Think about it this way. If you drop the kettlebell, you want it to fall behind you. Beginner option. Start with a very light kettlebell or even just practice the movement with your hands to learn the pattern. You can also do partial ranges of motion. Just go as far as your mobility allows and gradually increase the range over time. Do 3 sets of 10 to 15 reps in each direction. Focus on smooth, controlled movement and maintaining perfect posture throughout. But if you want to complete your upper body development with serious pulling strength, the next exercise is absolutely essential for building that thick, powerful back. Moving on to our number 5, we have the bent over row. This horizontal pull will hit your lats, rhomboids, and rear delts while building serious functional pulling strength. The single-arm nature of this exercise makes it an anti-rotational movement, as you have to resist the weight pulling your body toward one side. The bent over row builds the kind of pulling strength that maintains your posture and prevents the forward slouch that plagues men who spend too much time at desks. This is the strength you need when you're pulling open heavy doors, starting a stubborn lawnmower, or helping someone up from the ground. Whenever you pull with one hand, you need to brace your core in the transverse plane, making this incredibly effective for functional core strength. The unsupported position makes it like a single-arm good morning, giving your back, glutes, and hamstrings a nice isometric challenge while you work your pulling muscles. How to perform bent over rows correctly. Hold a kettlebell in one hand. Hinge at the hips and lean forward, keeping your back straight. You can place your free hand on your knee for support or keep it free. Pull the kettlebell up towards your hip, keeping your elbow close to your body. Squeeze your shoulder blade at the top of the movement. Lower with control and resist the rotation. Keep your core braced throughout the entire movement. Complete all reps on one side before switching beginner option. Support your free hand on a bench or your knee to reduce the anti-rotational challenge until you build core strength. You can also start with a lighter weight and focus on feeling the movement in your lats and rhomboids rather than just moving the weight. Do 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps per side. Focus on controlling the weight and resisting rotation throughout the entire set. Now, I'm about to show you an exercise that builds incredible overhead strength and power. If you want shoulders that can handle anything life throws at you, this next movement is non-negotiable. At number 6, we have the kettlebell press, the ultimate test of overhead strength and stability. This exercise builds serious shoulder mass while challenging your entire core to maintain stability. Science has told us that single-arm overhead pressing creates significantly more core activation than bilateral movements because your body has to resist the uneven load. The kettlebell press builds the kind of overhead strength that translates to everything from putting luggage in overhead bins to reaching high shelves without strain. This is the strength you need when you're helping move furniture, placing heavy items on high shelves, or maintaining that athletic overhead mobility that keeps you feeling young and capable. The single-arm nature forces your core to work overtime to prevent your body from leaning, creating incredible functional strength. Unlike machine presses that stabilize the weight for you, kettlebell presses demand total body coordination and build real-world pressing power. How to perform the kettlebell press correctly. Clean a kettlebell to the rack position at your shoulder. Keep your elbow tucked close to your ribs, stand with feet shoulder-width apart and core braced. Press the kettlebell straight overhead in one smooth motion. Keep your wrists straight and punch up toward the ceiling. Your bicep should end up next to your ear at the top. Lower the kettlebell back to the rack position with control. Keep your torso upright throughout the entire movement. Beginner option. Start with the kettlebell in the rack position and practice just holding it there to build stability. You can also press from a seated position initially to reduce the core stability demands until you build strength. Do 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps per arm. Focus on strict form and full lockout overhead without leaning to either side. And finally, let's get into the exercise that ties everything together and builds the kind of explosive total body power that makes you feel unstoppable. Finally, let's get into that exercise that will complete your kettlebell mastery, the Turkish get-up. This might be the most functional exercise ever created. It forces you to move from lying down to standing while controlling a weight overhead, challenging every muscle in your body in a coordinated pattern that mimics real-world movements. The Turkish get-up builds the kind of total body coordination and strength that transfers to everything you do in life. This is the movement that develops the stability you need when you're getting up from the ground while carrying something, navigating obstacles under load, or maintaining control during unexpected movements. It forces your shoulders to stabilize weight overhead, while your core works to maintain posture and your legs provide power and balance. No other exercise challenges your body to coordinate so many movement patterns while under load. This is the strength that makes you feel confident and capable in any physical situation. How to perform the Turkish get-up correctly. Lie on your back with a kettlebell in your right hand, arm extended overhead. Bend your right knee and plant your right foot flat on the ground. Keep your left arm at a 45-degree angle for stability. Roll up onto your left elbow, keeping the kettlebell overhead. Press up to your left hand, creating a bridge. Sweep your left leg back and under your body. Come up to a kneeling position, then stand up yet reverse the entire movement to return to the starting position. Beginner option. Start without any weight and focus on mastering the movement pattern. You can break it down into segments, practicing each transition separately. Use a light dumbbell or even a shoe to start, focusing on smooth, controlled movement rather than speed. Do 3 sets of 3 to 5 reps per side. Start light and focus on perfect form. This exercise is about control and coordination, not just moving weight. All right, now let's get into that complete training plan that will build serious mass and strength with just these 7 kettlebell exercises. I'm going to give you a 3-day routine that hits every muscle group while building functional strength. Day 1. Power and lower body exercise. 1. Kettlebell swings. 5 sets of 20 reps. Exercise. 2. Racked squats. 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps. Exercise. 3. Cossack squats. 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per side. Exercise. 4. Kettlebell halos. 3 sets of 10 reps each direction day. 2. Upper body strength exercise. 6. Kettlebell press. 4 sets of 8 to 10 reps per arm. Exercise. 5. Bent over rows. 4 sets of 10 to 12 reps per side. Exercise. 7. Turkish get-ups. 3 sets of 3 to 5 reps per side. Exercise. 1. Kettlebell swings. 3 sets of 15 reps. Day 3. Total body integration. Exercise. 7. Turkish get-ups. 3 sets of 5 reps per side. Exercise. 2. Racked squats. 4 sets of 15 reps. Exercise. 6. Kettlebell press. 3 sets of 10 reps per arm. Exercise. 5. Bent over rows. 3 sets of 12 reps per side. Exercise 1. Kettlebell swings. 4 sets of 20 reps. Progressive guidelines. Week 1-2. Focus on perfect form and movement patterns. Week 3-4. Increase reps or add a second kettlebell where possible. Week 5-6. Increase weight or add more challenging variations. Week 7-8. Test your progress and reassess your starting weights. Key success factors. First, master the movement patterns before adding weight or speed. Second, focus on quality over quantity. Perfect reps build strength. Third, train consistently, at least 3 times per week. Fourth, allow adequate rest between sessions for recovery and growth. These 7 kettlebell exercises will build the kind of functional mass and strength that translates to everything you do. If you thought that this video was helpful, be sure to share it with someone else you think might like it. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.